I need to check some things first, real quick. See if this worked. Did I fix it? No way. Okay, so this entire time I've been having issues with every time I go live, it would put me at Fortnite, and I have to go and change it. And then if there was any type of lag or any issue like that, it would put it back to Fortnite. I just figured out how to make it where it's permanently StarCraft. Finally. So that's great news. All right. So I wanted to have a quick discussion on a recap on where I'm at with 300 Days of a Ladder. And I did one before. I wasn't recording, and then uh, I ended up losing my mic halfway through it. I'm gonna leave that up because that's just gonna be a blooper or whatever, and I might delete it later. Who knows? I mean, it's kind of nice to look back and see, where I was, my mind state, and see the mistakes. So I might just keep it up. Um, so where I'm at right now, I've actually taken a couple weeks off from playing. I've been focusing on work, but when I come back to 300 Days of Ladder, I've got a couple Muta Micro maps from Hermon, so I will be diving into those. Uh, Going forward with 300 Days of Ladder, Muta Micro is going to be the next step. Um, Learning every little aspect of it that I can learn. I've already started looking up information online and trying to find videos. I found one that gave a lot of information. That was from like 4 years ago. But I do plan on doing a lot more research uh, and studying and then practicing the different types of micro that you can do with Mutalisk to really break it down and perfect it. That the best way for me to go forward and become a top competitor is for me to know every little aspect of this it, and have it in my tool bag. So um, going forward with 300 Days of Ladder, it's no longer going to be trying to climb the ladder. And for those that uh, are watching right now, like I was trying to see kind of what I could do, but I'm backing off of that, and now I'm going to only focus on Muta strategies. This is going to be good. Yes, I will lose a lot, and my Zerg versus Protoss, I will go right into Mutas, and then I'll tech out of it because I do still need to learn the later game aspect, and we will focus on that, or you'll see that I will focus on that later on. But like right now, with each matchup, like Zerg versus Zerg, it will be Mutalisk. Zerg versus Terran, it will be Muta all in. So I won't be just massing Ling. It's just going to be Muta. And I'm going to be hardcore practicing microing and trying to grow with that. I will be failing a lot, so I imagine I'll be knocked back down into the D rank area. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, it's gonna take practice. That's what's gonna have to happen, and that's how I'm gonna do it. So I will be doing these practice maps, and then I will be practicing on the ladder just mutas. Besides the Zerg versus Protoss, because like and of course it will be right into mutas, and then I'm gonna have like Hydra follow up kind of thing, but I'm not going to like do any Hydra bust or anything like that, which I haven't done it yet. And after I get done with the Muta Micro, which it's gonna take a while, guys, uh, it's no joke. I can't just like learn it in a day or in a week or possibly even a month. Like I'm probably gonna start getting things down, but I where I want to be with this, it's gonna take time, and I know it. And like the quicker, it's kind of like with any type of profession. The quicker you try to rush and learn it, the less that you're gonna like be seen as like a electrician. If you rush through your information and you pass as electrician, you're not going to be making that much money because you didn't take your time and you didn't become a perfect at the your job. And that's what I'm aiming for is perfection. Like I want to be able to do you know muta microing at its peak. So I will be studying, and that's going to be the the next couple episodes, probably the next, I say at least 50, 70 um, episodes. Also, Muta Micro with hotkeys. So something that I need to introduce into my gameplay, which I have not done yet, is cycling my hotkeys while I'm microing mutas. Which this is going to be, uh, something I have to learn too. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but just hitting the key once. So hitting um, 5 select drone, 6 select drone, 7 select drone, and doing it without like it forcing me to jump back. So I'm still watching my mutas, like I'm pulling the mutas back. I cycle real quick, go through, cycle again, come in, attack, pull back while I'm pulling back. I'm cycling, finding those opportunities to cycle and doing and remembering to cycle the hotkeys, um, and becoming a monster at this game. So that's that's my goal, um, and that's where I'm at. And it's going to take a lot of practice. This is no joke. And to become the best, it's going to take time and effort. So that's where I'm going forward with 300 Days of Ladder. So Muta Micro, which there is multiple steps of Muta Micro. It's not just like you know, stacking your mutas and attacking, and I'll go through that, and you'll learn as I learn, you'll see as I see, and then also micro or cycling hotkeys while microing, which will be after I learn Muta Micro, because I don't want to stack too much on the Muta Micro, but that will be my next probably 50 to 100 days of the 300 days of the ladder. So, and who knows? Like, I'm not where I want to be with splitting, and I'm sure I'm not going to be where I want to be with Muta Micro. But if I could perfect or make it where it's almost perfect on openings, going for mutas, getting that understanding, and then I can learn other aspects of the game like Hydra busts, knowing where to go from there, it just becomes another thing in my arsenal. So that's it for the 300 days of ladder. Like I said, I have taken a break, so when I do come back, I'm gonna be rusty. I was playing every day or every other day. I was playing fastest in between because the most of my community is fastest, but I will be coming back and doing 300 days of ladder every day again. So we'll be back at it. I look forward to playing with you guys and you guys watching me grow and learn. And like I said, I'm probably going to end up back to D rank because I'm going to just do Mutalisk. Um, but there's just so much different stuff with Muta Micro. Like I I have to practice it, and it's the one way of getting better. So, but that's about it. That's going to be the next step moving forward, and I think that's about it. Also, to recap, because this is really supposed to be a recap, not just talking about the future. But to recap on everything, when I first started this, I didn't know anything. I knew how to 9 pull without Overlord, and I knew Zerg was the kind of the harder race to play. I'm pretty familiar with Protoss, and now watching people play low money as Toss, I think it's by far the easiest race to play. Cannons with splash damage. That's you could just go into a third right off the bat, or whatever right off the bat, and you just go into splash damage, and it's just ridiculous. But or in the aspect of defending, just splash damage is just, or even early game. I mean, I didn't make this to sit here and like dog on Protoss, but like just in the aspect of the beginning, just to touch basis on this. You have one zealot that is overpowered, and you don't have to really micro anything. You just have to get into like a crevice and try to get a drone or two, and that's a bonus of one thing that you can do. You could also go cannons. You'd also harass with probes. There's a lot of things in the Protoss arsenal compared to the Zerg where like you're needing so many lings to deal with that zealot, and there has to be microing involved, especially if more zealots are coming. Um, yeah, just the skill difference. Microing your Protoss, you're running a Zealot, and you're like attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, and like you're okay. That's you're not doing anything special other than moving the Zealot compared to somebody that's clicking on multiple units and moving them out of the way and so on and so forth, instead of you just like basically a moving your unit. But enough of that. Enough of that. I could have picked Protoss, but I chose not to. I chose to go the more heavy hotkey way because I wanted to learn, and I am learning. I've learned a lot. Um, when I first started, hotkeys were not my thing. Um, Splitting. I if you watch, I was getting D rank. Then the next day, I'm getting C and B rank, and then now it's like I'm on like A minus, A plus, or B plus at the lowest, but I'm decent with splitting. I'm not where I want to be because what I want to be is perfect. I want S rank. I want it to be perfect, but with splitting. But I'm not quite there, and I will go back into it. But me playing games is going to make me better at splitting. Like me doing it over and over and over. I'm just gonna eventually get to the point where I do it every time. But that was something that I had to focus on, and I did, and I made myself better at it. Um, Hotkeys, I'm still not there with it. I don't think. I don't cycle at all. Um, I'm kind of using hotkeys. Like I try to remember to use hotkeys, and I do use hotkeys, but like I'm not using it quite well yet. Um, but I'm learning. Like I'm definitely doing a lot better than what I was, and uh, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take practice. Um, Me playing fastest, it's so hard for me not to go back to my old ways and just like mouse clicking everywhere. But recap, I'd say Zerg versus Terran's probably my favorite. It definitely is my favorite matchup, and it was one of my favorite matchups on fastest map too. Um, and like I think I've came up with something in the aspect of like the Muta Ling ball that like I try to get on top of the Marines when they're moving out and get us around to kill that off so I can get my third up and get it going to get into whatever. But I keep not going into a defiler mound, and I need to because that's a big part of it. Big part of it. And I also have to remember at that time I need to get scourges for drop ships because that's a big play that a lot of these Terrans do. Um, and then but it's a learning experience every time I play. Like I'm learning and starting to understand, and I can see why people just go into lurker and drone because like they take that defensive position, they get niduses so they can go to the different bases, and they get swarm, and then they're like defending as they're kind of building units up at that point. But I'm understanding it, and that's probably my best matchup that I'm like starting to fully understand. I'm getting there. Zerg versus Protoss, I hate it. I feel like Protoss has so many little tricks up their sleeve, and they're just so strong with the Templar. Templar are so strong, and me not having a hotkeys on point, like I gotta be careful with my micro aim because like I'll just look away for a second and lose everything, and that's a big issue. I also haven't utilized lurkers yet, so um, I definitely have a long way to go, Zerg versus Protoss. But like I said, going forward, it's going to be right into mutas, which I've kind of been doing that. I believe every time I've been doing that here lately after we sat and watched Larva's games. Um, but I think like it's always going to be that for the Muta Micro. Zerg versus Zerg, my least favorite, and I'm hoping me learning Muta Micro it changes to where I love playing it because it's I'm definitely going to go mutas every time and do it as a learning experience. We're not going to sit there and mass lings. We'll make the bare minimum to block or whatever, and we'll go right into mutas and play that type of game. And we'll do it every time. And but prior, I really didn't know what to do, Zerg vs Zerg, and for the recap, like my Zerg vs Zerg is garbage, and you got higher level players, the A rank player or B rank player, I forget who it was I played, that he, because you could go pull first before Overlord and then gas, and he went like pull gas before Overlord, and it was like, what? And he was just a little quicker than I was, and it was quick enough that he got his like his, I went pull what did I think I went pull Overlord and then drones and then gassed um before the lings, right? And it was like all normal timing, right? Because you do the gas trick, but instead I didn't do the gas trick. I left the gas up, which that's normal. Well, he did it differently and got the gas quicker, like before the Overlord, and it just gave him that advantage. And then he got scourges on my shit, and it's just like, what the fuck do you do, right? But it's a learning experience, guys. It's a learning experience. I'm gonna move forward and do this mutalist thing. I'm not expecting to be high rank from this. I'm wanting to learn. It's strictly just to learn going forward, and yeah. But splitting, I'm decent at it. Um, I'm learning, guys. I've got a ways to go, but I'm learning. And I don't care if the Terran's going into freaking mech or going into that double starport wraith thing that they do. I don't care. I do not care. I'm gonna go right into mutas and I'm gonna fight it anyways. That's the plan. But I'm gonna get off here. I wanted to just do this recap, and it wasn't really much of a recap, more talking about the future. But that's the plan, guys. Hopefully, I continue moving forward and getting better, and